Okay, well hopefully it's working now. Well, testing anyway. Oh dear, the internet can see me now. Look, Mom, I'm on the TV. Somebody can see. Oh hey, Kanakuro's already here. Neato. What the freak was I doing? Yeah, that's right, starting a completely new project with absolutely no, well, some of the sketching I'm going to be doing today. I was looking through my old notebooks and I saw a thumbnail of something I drew a long ass time ago. Like, I think maybe a couple of months ago now. Ooh, hopefully that doesn't heck up on the mic. Oh, as always, lots of noises in my household. Right now, just testing that. There we go. Okay, let's pick a color palette. Something a little grayer. Zoom in on that. Okay, good. This background, let's rename that. Call it the sketch. No, call it the room. Yay, doing a thing, finally. Okay, for this one I kinda... I haven't finished a long-term project in many months now that I think about it. I'm gonna really test how well out I'm being right now. I haven't finished a long-term project in many months now. Okay, so now I know how loud that is. I love my hip-hop's a little bit loud. Maybe turn it down a bit. Just a smidgen. There we go. Does it ever say how many people are watching currently? Oh, one watching right now. Okay then. Well, how about that? Yay, or that could just be me watching it. I don't frickin' know. But anyway, I'm gonna gradually allow. And I'll just figure out what exactly the hell I'm doing right now. So I draw the rough sketch for that. Oh, just enjoy yourself. Retrospect that you're finally drawing again. I always find it funny how some things will look like just a mess of scribbles to other people. And to me, it's slowly taking shape from something I want. Let's draw a bit of a box right there. I'm using Sketchbook as opposed to Photoshop because I feel like it's good for creating line work. Probably end up coloring the thing. Let's zoom in a bit. Okay, building out the basic form of a head, if you look closely enough. Oh yeah, I do have a lasso select, so if I feel like adjusting that, I can do that later on. Remember, always use basic shapes to start drawing something out. I want these things to be the same size. Make the front jaw a little bigger. Hey, this is a recreation of an old drawing I made a long time ago. Yeah, I think I ever said that, yeah. I saw a thumbnail sketch for like an idea of like what the poses I wanted to be, and I was like, let's just do that. It's another really dynamic over the top thing. I remember I was really proud of the original thing when I finished it, and then when I look back I'm like, oh god, it's just everything about it is so wrong. so that's a perspective work. It's just a size thing. I'm still getting a little bit used to Autodesk Sketchbook. Interesting. Let me adjust the perspective a bit. I think I might be able to make use out of this. Kind of weird how it's doing that, I won't lie. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit more so we can get a little more refined details. Let's throw in a neck. And if I could just get a bit of a darker shade. Freaking work with me today, freaking Autodesk. Yeah, that's too blue. Here we go, that's a bit gray. There we go. Now that's a color I'm going to want to work with. Okay, just do that over here. Define the basic shapes a little bit more. So that you essentially carve out the general shape. Some details early on, but no, let's save that. Let's first focus on the dragon. Oh, I revealed it was a dragon now. I don't know how this looks like to other people. I was supposed to do with the co-host, but the co-host canceled on me, so well. I don't know if anyone's even watching this. I feel like I'm just speaking into the void, but I feel like it's kind of motivating me to draw on my own, just a little bit. Slowly build the muscle structure here. One shoulder be right there, basically. Oops, I'm supposed to be doing that yet. Okay, next I'll have pose a little bit like this. Very rough. This just might as well be gibberish to someone watching this without any idea of what exactly I'm doing. What the hell? I just find it funny that seeing like the work gradually. I should probably save this thing in case this thing crashes. I will name it. Okay, there we go. And the whole body, the spikes right here, the spine basically. So I decided to turn on the lights so I could concentrate. Nope. I had to like keep the because right now I'm looking at like a photo reference that I took of the sketch. Small, simple thumbnail sketch. Okay, so the foot is around, legs around here. That means. Oh, well, there's my disgusting salivary mouth just probably picked up on the mic just now. I go quiet, that's probably because I'm concentrating on the drawing. It's like, okay, I need to get this just right. Tail with a bit of spikes here and there. I feel like one thing I need to do is have perspective a bit. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Nope. Okay, still peaceful. Be seeing exactly how exactly this program works. This bit. God damn it, it's not what I want. That's right, transform the whole damn thing. No wait, no I didn't. Rotate that a little bit, a smidgen if you will. Okay, that's more of what I'm trying to achieve here. Something really, really dynamic. Fix up the lines where it kind of broke off right here. Okay, I need to fix the whole thing right now and shrink it down so I have room for the other character. Okay, let's add a new layer for that one. Call it rough 2. I'm going to zoom in right here, lower the opacity on this just a smidgen, just temporarily. No, I'm gonna take the little art mannequin guy I have and adjust his pose to better suit what I need. I'm kind of just drawing, like this probably won't be the accurate placement of the character based on the reference I'm working on. But right now I'm just using it, considering I have like a transform tool, I can pretty much draw it wherever I want and then just adjust the size and the placement later on. And some basic shapes here. An overall chest. I will definitely shrink down this character because right now they're way too big. Okay. There we go. Ah, God damn it. That's just something I'm like, freaking whatever. People on the street won't be able, whoever's watching this, because nobody's watching it live. Okay, here we go. Carrying some kind. This character's clearly carrying some kind of weapon. I feel like I'm actually nailing this dynamic pose I'm trying to get. And again, it's still in the rough sketches bit, so like it might change much later on. Okay, now you just transform this character just down a smidgen, press shift to control it. A little smaller maybe. There we go. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Adjust the size of that, raise it up a bit, increase it. Adjust the perspective a little bit. And this is really kind of, now it's working for some reason. I don't know what I did right. I was just sort of doing things absent-mindedly. God damn it. Alright, there we go. some sort of like flowing cape right there. No, wait, what am I doing? Alright, layer. Still in the rough sketching of it. Make a new layer. Okay, there we go. I'm going to use that to create just basically the ground plane for the background. Don't know what exactly I'm gonna do with this freaking thing. I kind of want like to emphasize that this thing is running fast. It's like a speedy thing it's doing. Wouldn't that be cool? Or like a racing TV show, just a bunch of like jacked out animals, like maybe a dragon with a bunch of machine guns mounted on its shoulders. It sounds like a 10-year-old's fantasy, baby. If you don't have fun with that, what the hell's wrong with you? Okay, lower the volume, the roughness on that. Okay. Okay, what's that in next? I think I should go back to the first rough and start kicking out a few more details. There are the bits I do enjoy, just about like the simple base of a drawing. Just I can pretty much do free reign with whatever I want, basically. Just gonna give a simple. Yeah, right now just creating the basic skull structure of this dragon. Okay, I'm really digging like the force perspective I have going on right here. Like the size of this thing compared to that's seriously like the right paw or claw or whatever, you know what I mean. Like I feel like this animal has motion right now.
My first girlfriend turned into the
I'm just concentrating on things right now. That's why I was gonna have someone bounce off of, but now that's gonna run dry. Oh, what? Oh wait, no, you're riding a dragon bib. Oh. Okay, I just look. Hello, how are you doing, Kanakuro? Or Puck, whatever it is. I'm not riding a dragon bareback. And again, I probably won't put a saddle on this thing. Plus, that's not me. That character doesn't look anything like me. For all you know, that character couldn't even be a dude. Oh, excuse me, kind of belched right into the mic. Okay, there we go. I feel like there we go. I've got the general shape I want for the dragon. I'm very happy with that, the way that's looking. It's looking actually better than the thumbnail I drew, which is something that rarely happens. Let's lower the opacity of this rough and go back to this one. Zoom in on that head a bit. And don't forget to save in case something crashes. I'm surprised my computer is running as well as it is right now. Let's just go down here. Let's see this one. Okay. Oh, 2 people are watching now. Yay! Unless that counts as just me twice somehow. Hey there, friendo. Hello, Ryan Cottingham. That's a weird name. Kind of remembers of like the Benedict Cumberbatch names. I don't know. Decided that I would try to like just streaming on YouTube because like Twitch has been kind of dead lately. I don't know why. But what the frick am I saying? I always get to I thought like, hey, for some reason on YouTube I got a bunch of freaking subscribers. I have no idea why. I think, let's just abuse that, eh? Let's make a use of that for once. So I decided it's like, let's set it up the stream design, and I decided to put in that little like widget, the Step 4 Stream Drawing Edition. I might have a different one if I decide to do gaming, if my computer can freaking handle it. Like I tried streaming Dragon's Dogma once, and let's say that was about as successful as you expect with my kind of computer. It's not exactly a strong one, it's kind of like a Dell kind of thing. Alright, I need to... Oh, now it's not doing anything. How did I do that earlier? No, I don't want that. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. No. Stop that. Damn it. No. Shit. I'm just caught. I'm caught in the perpetual fuck up. Great. Now I slice this character's eye off. Okay, just slightly increase the size of that. Increase the size of this arm a little bit. I always like making characters' poses look really dynamic. Obviously, I'm gonna refine this a bit because right now it just kind of looks messy as fuck. Switch back to the pencil. Ah, damn it! That's not a pencil. I keep pressing hotkeys that work on Photoshop, but not on this. A couple of them are the same, which only adds to the confusion. God damn it, my freaking reference images on my phone. and my phone keeps going into sleep mode and trying to fix that up. I don't feel like I need it as much as I used to right now, but you know, it's just nice to have it on. I want to give this character an evil look, you know? Arms right there. That's the movie right there. Yeah, that's one movie right there. What am I, stupid? When you gonna upload another webcomic, dude? I have. Like, another Step Forward 85 was updated today. So can you just look on Webtoon, freaking A. Man, the next one's gonna be on Monday, hopefully. Because there's some, like, lately it's been every other week because it was just personal issues that I haven't been able to, like, resolve as quickly as I hoped I would be able to. Okay. Well then, I shall do this. Wait. Good. Next few, another Step Forwards kind of will be a multi-part kind of thing. Ooh, 3 people are watching now. Now I'm feeling like YouTube famous. Look out, fucking Logan Paul. You won't be putting me in your videos in the Suicide Forest. Fucking what the fuck am I on about? I have no idea how far this YouTube thing's gonna go. I doubt very far. You have to hear so much about like the big creators always complaining about something. It's like, oh, they changed this, so now we're all screwed. I'm like, oh shit, why would I even bother making a YouTube thing then? I know this will be a career. I would like it the very east. Very yeast. Hush, my yeast is rising. I can quote pretty much any Ed and Eddie thing. Just anything, and I'll be like, oh, that's the episode where they did this. Or that's the episode. That's the episode where Ed ate his whole mattress. That's the episode, which is the episode where he dressed up as the raccoon, and then Johnny was like, he's like, right at the spot, eat your mattress, dummy. And now I'm just quoting bits from the episode. Ed did not need much pushing in order to eat his mattress. Oh wow, that's looking fantastic. Huh. I haven't said that about an artwork of mine in forever. I guess it's some good news then. Well, interesting. Like, that was a weird moment of genuine positivity. Character's gonna have a big fuck off sword. Look, it's gonna be huge. I shall do the Cyberman. Who the fuck is Cyberman? There's always a slight bit of difficulty with swords considering the symmetry they do. Like one thing I like is well, the new character that was introduced, which I'll just say canon. His name is Sir William, because like I think one thing I like about that I'm gonna introduce the character is that he is simple. He is straightforward and direct. So his name, he embodies willpower. So his name is William. There you go. That's it. I still need to come up with like a proper name other than Lanky Boy for like the beast that embodies depression, basically. Something, I don't know what, something other than the beast maybe. That feels a little too, I don't know, I don't want that. Now I need to adjust the position, that sword is not as good as I want it to be. I need to adjust this angle. Oh wait, no shit. I want to get it outside of. No, get it with. God damn it. Get the wrist. There you go. Cut it off. Oh, so now you've decided to work with me. Ah, damn it. What the shit? What the? And well, fuck, it just crashed. Well, that's a thing that happens. I really hope I'm not gonna have to go far back. Please tell me you have. Oh, thank. Fuck, it has like freaking restore. Okay, rip. Don't you rip me? We're back. Oh, mini heart attack. Mini heart attack right there. I'm gonna save this shit real quick. Just, oh boy. Was not in the mood for that. Oh shoot. Just overwrite that one. Okay. Where the hell was I? Hold on. I figured I was missing something. There we go. You can't see it on like the thing, but one of my two toolboxes, because I'm working on dual screens right now. Your style kind of looks like Dungeons and Dragons, you nerd. Well, for the record, I've never even touched Dungeons or Dragon. I have a friend who, and she's like super into it, and she's like, she one time read me her notes for her games, and I was just like, what the fuck is all of this? No, then let's... Oh, that's... Oh, I am retard. That's what I was doing wrong. Shrink it down a bit. Oh well. You learn more each time. There you go. I feel like that's a much better thing. We should probably have like a placeholder thing for it. I kind of want there to be a sort of leash on this dragon. She's like, this character. Oh, I have now revealed this character is a she. Just like yanking on his chains, like, hey, oh boy, we need you to turn around. He's just like blowing fire in this direction so we can turn around and look cool as fuck while doing it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Ah, fuck. Maybe we just have to figure out how to do a character. What the heck? Oh. And literally my players sound like so really on the nerds. Okay, some slight delays in stream chat. That was weird. But I am curious at playing about how to play D&D. I'll know that I'm interested. There we go. Anyway, I feel like the rough sketch for this is done right now. Now we can get to a little more sketching. Now comes the harder part. Okay. Rough 3, let's move you down. Okay, next up. Run the rough 1. 2, add a new one. Name it. No shit. Let's call it Dragon Sketch. Okay, there we go. Let's lower. I still want that there, but I want you more visible. let's zoom in a bit. I want to figure out what exactly I'm gonna do with this freaking thing. I'm not getting into the raw. I might actually do like a painting kind of style with this thing. I don't know. I'm kind of just figuring this out as I go along, kind of thing. Probably I'd like the flames that he's gushing out in post, maybe as like a special effect, because like I know I can do it really easily in Photoshop. So I'll probably just produce the line work here and then, you know, edit it out in Photoshop at my leisure. Adding the crest, you know, this is looking like a Tyrannosaurus, I won't lie. Always creating Groot. I remember one of my Disney teachers always told me, it's like to draw something like you're making a 3D model, basically. So it's nice just to be working on something simple, kind of like, I say simple, but to like a normal people, this might be like an insane amount of detail and dynamic energy. I don't know, I'm having fun with this completely ridiculous looking drawing. Zoom in just a little bit. Image. Click. No, not that. Hang on, I'm trying to look. How do I show it? See, is there any mistakes here? Because I learned one thing to do is always flip the camera. That actually looks kind of better. It's even more dynamic. I might go back to this later on, but right now I'm just trying to look at any details I might have missed. No, I think overall it looks fine. It looks really dimensional and all that. I like it. It's good. Okay, let's zoom back in. This one bit I like. I feel like I'm really getting a good definition of the skull right here. I'm still just doing basic things. I don't know how many sketch layers I'm gonna freaking have. Probably like 5. Who knows? I'm still just figuring out what exactly I want it to look like. Hey, step forward. Are you into animation or drawing or more? I'd say I'm more used to drawing than I am animating, because like, well, animating I'm like getting my hands into it. I might do, like, one thing I'm working on a Source Filmmaker project, so that's been a lot of fun. Basically a remake of the Doom comic, which, granted, it's turning out to be a lot of work. Just like the first scene's turning out like to require like 20 models in different unique poses, but like, I think right now I do more drawing simply because like I know how to do it more. This dragon looks pissed. But I also need to consider... There we go, some emotion. Let's give him some more, like, he doesn't like this. Oh, your boy is drawing today. Oh, hi, I'm Guy301. Good to see one of the regulars is here today. How you doing? Don't know how long I'll be drawing, because I'm pretty sure I know I had to get up a little bit early tomorrow. But oh fuck, I spilled water on myself. Why do I do things? Yeah. No. I'm just dry. Yeah. Oh well. This dragon mirrors my current mood. I have to consider how exactly his, like, I want to give him a bunch of horns, but I have to consider how that's gonna like affect. Like, learn one thing is like silhouette value. Like one thing you can't have is like basically things like masking out the other. You sort of got a crocodile snoot. Let's take that a little more bulbous. Get a little more rounder right here. Let's see. And just, I see you made a small layout for stream. Looks nice, thank you. I decided to go with one of my favorite faces that I've drawn, and that was like what people have called the Rick and Morty face, basically because of that one little mouth thing, which is a reference to, I believe, that Justin Roiland did to Ren and Snippy. You could add a full color run on stream with your links to like Patreon and stuff. Oh, maybe I'll do that for the next time. I don't know how often I'll do these. I'm not certain. I was supposed to do it with the co-host today, but she canceled on me because she had some stuff to do, which is fine, I guess. It's fine. You do it on my own terms. There's no restrictions here. It's all just me. I don't get it. Yeah. Remember one time one of my brothers commented that like 90% of the things I draw always have really sharp teeth. And I don't know why, but I won't lie, I do enjoy drawing them. It's fun. Maybe I just like ferocious things. Fierce. I like things being fierce. I mean, there's a word I really liked. That when I was a kid, I remember described a fish, and I was like, why did that word stick with me? It's like, it was fierce. That's what it was. Alright, now let's throw in some horns. The question is, how exactly do we want these horns to act? We don't, we want them to have some level of functionality. I want them to have 6 total horns. Or maybe 5. No, maybe 8. Maybe just a little bit more. Just like overall spike. I kind of want to give this guy like a spiky aesthetic. I kind of feel like I'm getting a Bowser vibe right now. It's like, also when you're on a stream through Discord, you should turn up the volume a bit more. Oh yeah, I noticed that from last time. Like I had it set up. Right now I have it set up. Would you guys like me to join the general Discord voice chat? That would be fun. So right now it's set up so like that would be fine. Y'all be able to hear each other just fine. Let's see, turn that around, zoom in, sketch that a little bit more. Let's see. Oh, it's funny how far this thing has come along now. I think it's coming out really nicely now. A ridiculous looking dragon. It's pure digital. Anyway, this is being recorded, which means I can probably save this. Yeah, what you drawing? Right now, what exactly am I drawing? Is, well, for a basic idea, I drew I think sometime in high school, I drew like a really detailed dragon rider, like riding a dragon with like the armor echoes the dragon a bit, the dragon's on chains, and like I was breathing fire. That was where I first learned how to like make a fire effect in Photoshop. I decided, like, I remember I was really proud of that drawing for a long time, and then I remember at one point I posted it somewhere and like people like hated on it. I was like, oh shit, I've got a lot to learn. And so yeah, I decided it's like I've had a lot of trouble trying to like finalize a project that I'm working on. I've been working on one recently. I thought I like it, but it's taking way too long. It's too much for me, and like I'm not having fun with it anymore. But it's just like, okay, let's do something I've done before, but make it better. Okay, let's like burn everything down. It's a new start with something old, and so that's how we got here. Biggity bang, hello Sam. I don't know what I'm saying. Who's on Discord right now? Okay, there we go. sorry, I just had to look at some things. When did you start drawing? When did I start drawing? Oof. Yeah, you're asking the loaded questions here, boyo. If I trace it back, when he came out the womb. Yes, I just came out the womb holding a freaking pencil in my hand. That is on the nail how it went. Exacto. No, I think I've always just had. I think if I had to trace it back to anything, it would be my interest in dinosaurs. If I'm completely honest. Like as a kid, I fucking love dinosaurs. Beautiful. Yeah, I feel like my favorite was always T-Rex. And I remember I used to be really into paleontology. That I would actually research geology and such until like I was 15. Then I realized I enjoy drawing these things more than I do like reading about them. Because I remember like the one was like I realized this is boring when I was like reading a book on the history of planet Earth. I was like, I am not having fun with this at all. And so like, and then after that I said, I want to make a comic. I thought, now heads up, this is not another step forward that I'm talking about here. When I said I wanted to make a comic, I wanted to make basically a generic superhero action self-wish fulfillment thing. So I spent like, I think like after my sophomore year, I spent my summer basically sketching out several rough drafts of a comic book. Made 60 pages the first one. Like right now, I don't know where I kept the drawings. I don't know if I still have them, but if I saw them again, I would fucking throw up. And so eventually, after several rough drafts, several script rewrites, and like basically trying again, I finally made a fully colored Photoshop thing and everything. I basically learned a bunch of new skills in order to make this comic, and then posted it on a site called Funny Junk. This was not another step forward, by the way, just letting y'all know that. This was a completely different, unrelated comic. And like, it got ragged on. I mean, hated. Understandably so. It was edgelord max. And so I was like, oh, yeah, it's like I was trying to brush it off. I was like, yeah, just jealous, or you know, the typical artist in denial kind of stuff. And so like, and then like, I eventually came to it. It's like, yeah, this sucks. And I remember I cried a little bit about it because I was like, oh no, this is awful. And so, and again, I let it say. I tried remaking it, and I realized I don't want to do this anymore. It's too humiliating. And so I just kind of let that lie for a bit. I bounced around to like, I didn't have an idea. I wanted to make a comic, but I wanted like, I basically wanted an excuse to draw really cool fight scenes. I was trying to come up with content. I was like, ah, this is a idea. Now this is boring. This is boring. Like it would actually get people like when I made my first webcomic, I had no feedback on it from anyone else. I just wanted to make this alone as a surprise to everyone. But when I tried again, I was like, let's consult people, and I kept pitching stories, and everyone's like, nah, that's a terrible idea. And that's when I learned I have no writing ability. I can draw a pretty picture, no idea how to write. And so like I let that lie. Then I think around when I got into Tapastic, I found that site. I was like, oh, I really like this site. They have a bunch of cool. Like I already had it where I posted my first webcomic, and I would like see people post their like slice of life webcomics, and I was always really enjoy those. And I thought I should make one of those someday. And I would like bounce around ideas in my head while I was like working my retail job. And so like I thought that would be a nice idea. So I made one that was like kind of realistic looking. The idea would kind of be like I am an asshole basically, because at that time I had like the idea of like my perception, so it's like I'm a comedic asshole kind of character. And, like I would play that up, and I didn't realize like how much of a dick I was, and like that was I think the title of that one was Heart of Copper. It's like I don't have a heart of gold, I don't have a heart of silver, I got a heart of copper, because that's how nice of a person I am. And then like I tried it for like one, then I just neglected to then I just forgot about it basically, and I realized I don't like this, so I scrapped it. Then I tried again. I was like, let's do it, but like in a cartoony style. Slice of life comics are my favorite. You have good taste, sir. Thank you. but like going on, like I tried doing it, but like I do a cartoony style where like it was still like the idea of like the daily musings of an asshole, basically, and like kind of weird, kind of cruel, quirky things I do. Because again, that was still the idea I had, and like the idea of that one, I gotta say is, I will say this: it probably has a better title, one of the best titles. I know was Less Than Likeable, because I feel like that was like kind of a hint of like But Another Step Forward, where it's like kind of a self-hatred kind of thing. And so like I started making that one, and it was like the art style wasn't bad. I definitely don't think it was that good. I remember initially I tried to make it like just kind of like Another Step Forward was initially just like sketch and ink. Like it was ink from the get-go, and I tried making it all digitally, but at the time I wasn't so good with digital drawing. Like right now I can draw this fucking shit, and it's fucking cool. Back then I didn't have that ability because I was still like getting used to it. Right now I'm completely used to a freaking Wacom tablet. But after that I tried I made like 3 strips like in like over the course of 6 months, and I was like, I'm not. I it was that point where I hated this character. I hated this like smug ass piece of shit character that I made, and so like I let that lie. I let that lie for a bit, and then like I remember one day, basically the start of the Step Forward is I have no relationship with my Chaotix family. I've got a few friends. Let's make a fucking one. That was basically the thought process. Like, let's just fucking crank one out. Pure emotion, sketch it out, post it. I posted like the first 10 on Tapastic, and I thought, okay, if I can make it to 10, I'll post it on Funny Junk. So I posted the first 10 on Funny Junk. At that point on Funny Junk, I already had a bit of notoriety because I was drawing people just for fun, just for shits and giggles. I was making a little bit of Patreon money then. And so like after that, like, I posted it, and then I went to work. I had a 10-hour shift, I remember that day. And then like when I came home, it's like, you have like 70+ comments on your freaking, you made front page and all. And I was like, what the I had like so many like positive feedback. I was like, it was freaking weird. It's like you're touching me in an emotional place. And I'm like, basically I was getting people to heart. Like getting people right in their freaking feel zones, basically. I guess I'm gonna just hide that for now because I just want to focus on this guy. But no, that was like really like uplifting. It's like, oh, I could keep making these, and so like Another Step Forward continued on. And like I decided, like I remember after 20, I decided, okay, let's say every 10 or so, I slightly upgrade it just bit by bit. And so like the first upgrade I had was like, hey, let's add in ink to an outline, like still keep the hair and like the sketchy kind of thing, the style it has right now, just so I can have that in the roots. I was like, let's keep that around there. And so and then like when I kept doing that for a bit, and it was Another Step Forward. When I got to the 30th one, I decided, let's add shading. Also one thing I added that I've now like taken off is like the Comet Response 2 was the most feels. Oh, thank you. I did get a little emotional working on. Man, off screen there was actually a lot of anger because Adobe Premiere was being a bitch. But no, like, where was I? Oh yes, for like, I'm gonna start calling it like Mark 1 of Another Step Forward is when it was all in sketch form. Like, where like I basically just sketched it out in an hour or so and just cleaned it up a little bit in Photoshop, and I can post it online. I was like, oh, fuck it, whatever. And then Mark 2 is when I inked it. And like initially I had the idea of like every time I introduced something it would be with a pun. Like I was like, wanna know why I never inked the comic? It's called Sketch Comedy. That's still the greatest joke I've ever told ever. It's still everybody's favorite. A 10th Another Step Forward. And to me, that was a milestone. That was probably my first real milestone. But no, then Mark 3 was essentially where I inked and I shaded it a little bit. I didn't add any value of colors, so like things kind of blended together a bit, but it was also when I introduced like a style of hair where it kind of has a sheen as opposed to just random like fill-in drawings. Like before then it was just like just fill in whenever. This one I had like there was a flow to it, and also the one curl out of place that would occasionally shift to match the personality. I remember when I first introduced it was a thing I wanted to put in, but like as the years went on, like this is getting in the way a lot, and sometimes I would just like in the middle of sketching I thought, okay, I'm done now starting. It's like, oh wait, I still had that little strand of hair thing. And so like that was Mark 3, and then Mark 4 is probably what I consider to be, in terms of artistic quality, the lowest point of Another Step Forward. That's when I thought like, okay, I need to like make this. I thought I had the idea of like, let's make Another Step Forward's production as efficient as possible. Let's have a template on Photoshop. Let's make it pure digital, baby. Let's go all the way digital. And I gotta say, like at that time, I was still not used to drawing it, and like I didn't have like lazy mouse or anything to like smooth out my lines, so my lines ended up looking really rough. Like, and some of the comics I have strips in that were like some quality. Some of my friends have like got a couple in like the Mark 4 and Another Step Forward people have really liked, but like I was like yeah, it just occurred to me that I've been rambling on for a while. I haven't been able to do that in a long time. Yeah, and then like Mark 4.5 is like the one strip only pure digital where I added color, and where I also learned like I could smooth out the lines with like and turn them into like sort of vectors, which is a new technique that I still utilize in a couple of that I've now learned to utilize in like a traditional ink drawing, but like we'll get to more on that later. But like on that and like that I was like, let's try adding color. I realized I felt like this is like, but it's interesting, the arcs of ASF. Oh, thank you. Like yeah, Mark 4.5 was basically like one thing color. I felt like color needs to be used sparingly in Another Step Forward given its content, because I feel like if we want to get like in the dark depressing kind of thing, we kind of have to go monochrome, and the few colors we use need to have some value. Funny thing, whenever I like, obviously like I add values now, like what Mark 4 introduced was like differentiating the shades between, like I wouldn't use color, but I use different shades of gray basically, and in case you use blood red or whatever. I know I used that before in Another Step Forward, but like that's fine. But like introduce like the differentiating between like my shirt and my pants. Basically, I still have like swatches saved in Photoshop that are labeled, okay, this is the shirt, this is pants, this is shirt 2. Like we'll get to more on that later. I like the colors you add. It's mostly blood, but still good. Thank you. But like, where the fuck was I? I keep losing myself every time. Like, keep commenting. I like reading the comments, but like I keep losing myself. That's my own fault. But like, what was it? Oh yes, for like color, yeah, I think the color is not used as much or barely seen gives color more meaning. Yeah, that was kind of the idea I was talking about. So yeah, like, and then like Mark 5 is whenever like what I call essentially the devil horn aesthetic. That's when like I sort of like, I think it's the first real like design change I gave to the character. And like that one was the reason I called it the devil horn aesthetic is I styled it like when I was making it, my hair was like really long, and every time like I would frequently like touch it and like mess it up every time like I get stressed or something. So like usually on like school days it would like unfurl and I'd get like this devil horn aesthetic. So like I was like, yeah, let's use that. And I still use like the little strand out of place kind of thing to emphasize emotion. I will say this, I think that was a good like revamp, because like with that I combined it, like traditional and like I feel like that's when like, okay, Another Step Forward needs to be made this way. I feel like it needs to be kept in like the traditional thing. Like granted, I was able to recreate like the hair of Another Step Forward, which is like has like the shine, the slick back shine, because I do slick back my hair. So like I wanted to like put that in the comics somehow, like, and keep the hairs like one thing from it is like the eyebrows always have to be shaded darker than the hair so they don't blend in with each other. Like all the hair, the eyebrows, the hairs are like it's like one continuous stroke like this. So more uniform than that, but obviously, and then like for the hair, it's like a little different. It's more like two layers of like varied sheens. Going back to yeah, another step forward. Mark what was it? 5. Yeah, Mark 5 of it was basically where like where I basically found a style that I wanted to keep. Where it's like traditionally made but like enhanced with Photoshop, basically, where I differentiate the colors between the shirt and the pants and various other things. Add color, but there's a layer where I add like all the differentiating values, and for that I would just name it values as opposed to color. And the shading I do like that on another layer too. I have a specific swatch called ASF, which is used specifically for the shading, but that's changed recently, and I'll get more on that later. So yeah, Mark 5 was that, where I had the devil horn aesthetic. It was traditionally made, digitally enhanced, and you've seen that. I feel like that's when I wanted to get more into like the dark roots, because I feel like another step I was starting to lose itself for me a bit. I felt like I needed to make it darker again. I was like, I need to get real with it. Like the first thing I fucked up ideas. The first thing I did was I'll never understand cigarettes. Like, why slowly kill yourself with toxins when you just kill yourself instantly with a gun? Like, that was a fucked up thought I had. Like in all honesty, that was less of a jab at smokers and more of a jab just at myself. Like, if you smoke, I'm kind of like, do whatever you want kind of thing. It's just so long as it ain't fucking me. Like, do whatever. Like, there are a lot of things that are gonna kill you slowly, like freaking McDonald's. But like with that one, and then like there was Mark 5.5, which was just a very, very subtle change in which like the collar and like the ends of the shirts were like red, because I wanted some detail. Like, I still had like a strand up place and all that. There was a point where like I stopped having time for another step forward as often, because like college finals are coming around. Like right now I should be working on some portfolio stuff. This is not portfolio, this is for fun. This is just something I really wanted to do. But like excuse me. Like, I know, I realized like I wanted to revamp it, basically. I had an idea of like how I wanted to redesign it. And so like I decided, it was like, let's, like, one thing I didn't like, or just like I noticed about webcomics in general, is like sometimes the characters will have, like, webcomic characters will have like very boring outfit designs. Like, look at freaking Altered Comics. Like, the face of the character I think is a really nice design, but it wears really fucking boring clothes. Like, there's nothing unique, or like, it's a really simple character I have, but like it's kind of boring. So I was like, I don't want that in my character. I want some sort of unique design. I remember, like, at the time I was thinking I need to obey the rules, like that. Need to follow in the footsteps of other famous webcomic creators. Like, I thought, no, I don't. I can do my own thing. And so, like, I had the idea, like, okay, let's change the outfit a bit. I sketched out some ideas. Like, okay, I like this. I want there to be a scar on the character's shirt to emphasize that whether or not I get over the depression or not, it's always going to leave a mark on me. And, like, the tendrils reaching up were a kind of a subtle reference to Cthulhu. And also, like, the idea of like the dark thoughts always like sticking out and reaching towards me. And that's Mark 6 basically, as it is right now. It's the current look of Another Step Forward, and like there's currently no plans for Mark 7 or an updated version. With this one, like, I fixed up the hair because like I felt like the hair, like I felt like the design, funny enough, like had become too busy with the face. Like, we had the devil horns and the thick eyebrows, the eyes underneath it, and like the freaking strand of hair that was out of place in the image. That was too much. It was like the lore of ASF, basically. And shit, I just turned on my printer scanner. Just turn off. But like, with this one, I felt like I like the basic aesthetic of like the devil horns things, so I decided like I would simplify that. Like, as a like, if you notice closely, like it's no longer two devil horns, but it sort of ends in a single point, because I wanted like more idea to like more like it's like back kind of thing. Another thing that I brought, like, and I kept, I think the one thing that stayed pretty much the same throughout all of Another Step Forward styles is like the eyebrows and the tired eyes. I think I'll actually get more on that later on, but like another thing that was added to like the Mark 6, yeah, the Mark 6 is I'm talking about like it's a freaking car or something, but whatever. Like one thing I liked about it is like one subtle thing is like I added like a mole that I have on my right cheek. I feel like that's been present. That was present in the first mark, but and another thing that's present in the first mark is the presence of glasses. Like I actually wear glasses, but like in the original design, it does like have tiny glasses. But I felt I would frequently just forget because it wouldn't fit on the character as well as like everything else. And I was like, ah, let's just get rid of it. I was like, bin it. Who cares? Like, sometimes I have a beard and goatee, but I'll never incorporate that in no step forward because, like, for me, it's weird to say, but the character somewhat has a cute aesthetic, a little bit, just a little bit. But I feel like a beard would throw it off a little bit. So yeah, like the Mark 7 currently has its own color palette and all that. So like I have like all the colors saved on the thing. If if I ever like move to another device and I need to work on it, I'll just like have another step, finish another step forward basically. So like I think I still have the Photoshop files for all the another step 4s up to 13. So like 13 through 85, I still have the Photoshop files. And recently I put on the Patreon that if you like support enough, I forget it's like the $5 or $10 one. Like if you support that much, you get access to us, and like you get to see basically the skeleton of it and take it apart, and even see the original scan. So like if you want to see that, yeah, support that. Yeah, I know. Freaking Kanekuro can get that shit whenever he wants. Just needs to ask. He doesn't have Photoshop. I think he told me that. Ow. Let's see. Didn't you say you were planning a fight scene or something like that? No, I said like I wanted, like when I first started making webcomics, I first wanted an excuse to make a fight scene, but then another step forward was basically like I want to say something basically. But who knows? Maybe there'll be a fight scene another step forward. There might be something. Who knows? What else was there? Oh yeah, so the current design on step 4 I think right now is my personal favorite because I feel like if I were to rank them, I think my favorite right now is the way it is now. Probably my second favorite might actually be the original look, because I really do like, because it's something comforting that. That's something being like a big metaphor you're trying to convey. Yeah, Another Step Forward has become very metaphorical lately, as opposed to like slice of life. I should probably start talking about the other characters that frequently show up in Another Step Forward. Like, okay, heads up, like, if there is a fantasy where I'm speaking with or like interacting with a very, very attractive girl, that character does not actually exist. In those scenes where it's like a dream sequence and I see an attractive girl, that character is just based off things I just find generally attractive. Like, there is no person that looks like that. And another thing is that one person, I remember, this is like one of the early streams I did like a while back. Someone asked if like a girl I drew in a situation that wasn't a dream sequence. It's like when I was a cashier and she asked, "Remember me?" Someone asked me, "Is that girl?" Like, that girl is real? Yes, but she does not look like that. I have completely forgotten what she really looked like. I think she was blonde, but I can't remember. And like, also the new character that was introduced in like the previous Another Step Forward 84, I've just nicknamed Pleasure. Frankly, people just assume that she's just simply lust, but no, I consider her more to be just an embodiment of procrastination, basically. How like I think it's nice to enjoy things every now and again. Like, yeah, work is work and all, but remember to enjoy things every now and again. And I feel like that is like, it's like, lies just have to be like banging every time there's a wet dream. And funny thing, I do not have wet dreams very often. So like, that was more of just like embodiments of desires I want. I just want that wholesome relationship, man. And I need to take a drink of water. Oh, stuffing stalkers. One thing a quirky thing about me really is that like, I live in a house with a bunch of younger siblings and children, so like, I've had to learn how to censor myself, and one of the things that has just become permanently ingrained is that I'll say stuffing stalkers, which is like I substitute for shit and fuck, but now it's become so ingrained in me that now it's just become my actual swear. was talking about like the female characters that Innocent Forward isn't by. Like the character that invites, I'll just call her Miss Pleasure. Miss Pleasure is definitely has a few strips planned to show up within, like she'll be a recurring character. Your characters are similar to the Seven Deadly Sins. I was thinking like Ishimura's, I don't yeah, maybe in Design Sins, but it's more just personal interest. Like I don't consider pleasure to be a bad thing. Like I think it's bad in excess. Like if you just overindulge in pleasure a bit, I don't think that's a good thing. Like yeah, in moderation might be fine. Like a strip idea might we have, it's like, okay, I need to get all this work done, and then pleasure's in the background. It's like, or you could do this, play all these games, and jack off a couple more times, and all that, and blah 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 blah. The reason I have that idea is because like around when I got legit diagnosed with depression, I felt like I would like the whole time, like when I was like dealing with the doctor and they prescribed antidepressants, I was hoping I was wrong, like it wasn't a real thing. Like maybe my family is right, maybe it isn't a real thing, and like I got legit diagnosed, and I just, like as soon as I got home from that, I started sketching out the character. Basically, it's basically me finally turning on the light and seeing like that's what it looks like. And like I need to think of a name for him besides the lanky boy, or the beast that represents depression. I draw him. He is directly inspired by the works of Junji Ito, because I wanted to like. His shit is fucking Junji Ito. If you haven't seen his shit, it's like fucking terrifying. But like I wanted to embody that a little bit. Like I wanted like to break the rules of character design. Like I feel like I've refined him a bit more, been a bit more expressive and cartoony, other than like kind of blank in his original design. Like one thing I've done is made the eye more oval shapes as opposed to circular. And like one thing that I've recently incorporated is like every time he speaks, it's the same text. Same font that my character uses, but it has like a outer glow of a bunch of like dissolving pixels. Or like if you look at the Knight character, Sir William, his stuff is my text, but it has a red outer glow. I think I'll do that with like the rest of the characters. Another one, for him, his design, was based on Junji Ito, and so like he's slowly changed. Like one thing I want to always incorporate is like if I'm going to make a character embody me in some way, shape, or form, then like it has to have the exact same color palette. So the Depression Beast has the exact it has different placement, but it still uses the same like value palette. I guess more considering it doesn't use color, and red's not in his aesthetic. So like he has like the same thing. I did change like where's change his basically how he's valued. Like where, what color his arms, what value his legs, like his pipe kind of thing. There is a bit of symbolism with him where like he has three, like he's basically a hyper exaggerations of things I don't like about myself. Basically, like I don't like how like my teeth are actually like you notice like I don't know when I think it was in Mark II that the fang teeth were kind of introduced. Or Mark III, I don't know, but like I introduced that feature because like I wanted to, because I thought it looked cute basically, and like I do kind of have teeth like that, except they point more outward. It's a noticeable thing if like you see me, like I like basically fangs kind of thing, so it's a real thing. So yeah, fangs confirmed. But like for like the Depression Beast, I decided like I would have like let's have all the teeth be like completely jagged and out there. Also, I've noticed your avatar now looks a bit skinnier or something. Well, no, the avatar's overall build has hardly changed really. If anything, I'd say he's grown bulkier. And like, I mean, that might just be me refining my art stuff, but no, I haven't like done anything to like overall change that aesthetic. I do feel like sometimes I have size inconsistencies where I'll draw the character shorter and or taller than he actually is. Like there are very few like strips where it features the entire body of the character. So sometimes I forget what palette I have saved for the shoes. Like for the shoes, it's just Disney-esque kind of. That's probably one of the things that's remained the same. I mean, I think in the original sketches, like I'm thinking the Mark I and Mark II, he never wore shoes. He just wore socks, because that's kind of what I wear whenever I'm at home. I don't wear shoes at home. That's just my thing. like where was it? Oh yes, lanky boys aesthetic kind of thing. Yeah. So the symbolism is like the teeth are kind of an embodiment of like how I don't like the way my teeth look. The really big eye that looks different than his other two eyes is more like the effect of like he sees things through like a sort of distorted view. Like he sees things differently. It's sort of like whenever you're depressed, you start like obviously you see things whenever you see things in a different way. Sometimes you'll exaggerate the way things are, or you'll misconstrue what people say or think, or like it's like probably not right, but like you still just think that, or you see things that way. Like I wanted to embody that. Another thing was like the messy hair, where like I always been like a bit subconscious about my hair. Right now my hair is really long, and I probably should get a haircut, but I've just kind of grown attached to it. Like, and the thing is like there's a scar like right on his head, which is kind of like the idea of like I think a little bit of like how I do basically mental self-harm. Like I don't cut, like for the record I will say I do not cut myself or anything. Or like I think the worst I do is sometimes I'll hit myself, but that's kind of like for like not depression related reasons. Like I lost a game, I'm like I hit myself in like the thigh or something. It's just general anger, but like the idea was like I will like constantly berate myself inside my head. So like that was kind of the idea of the scar on the top of the guy's head. Another thing is like he has like tubes and pipes around his stomach that are kind of bulbous, and the idea is that sometimes I get self-conscious about how much I eat. Like I am not super skinny or fat, and like I have a mild like bulky build, I'd say, for my height. So it's like to most people I am short. I will say this: I am not very tall. Which I sort of emphasized in the comic strip. Oh wow, that's what it looks like. Okay. But what was I saying again? Something about with the embodies. Like the overall, all other like those are the main symbolism I flew in for like the Depression Beast, and like anything as in that is just kind of inspired by Junji Ito. So your comics are like super representational of yourself. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Now I want to focus on like the functionality, the robot that showed up in 84, because he might be a recurring one. I feel like he's the embodiment of like ideals my family kind of embedded into me, where it's just like you have to work and do all this or else you won't be successful. And I feel like that's a lot of pressure to put on someone, I always think. And so like he's the embodiment of like you have to be, if you want to be happy, you have to be functional and you have to do all that. And like it's sort of the idea of like I would give myself any time I'm not doing something useful. Like right now this technically isn't useful, like I should be working on an iguana I have to model for school and yada yada yada, but like this is the idea that I need. Like I understand that you have to function, basically you have to work and do things, but sometimes you gotta learn how to enjoy yourself. But like for his idea, I just wanted like kind of a simple idea. Is like he's a robot, like he just like do the thing now, no, don't worry about your emotions and all that, just focus on that. Someone who said he looks like Iron Man, and I really wasn't thinking of that aesthetic. Maybe I did it subconsciously. For Miss Pleasure, as I call her, like funny thing, one of my friends, she commented that like she's thick enough to like birth 4 children. Like, don't lie, I did design her with that sort of aesthetic of being extra thick. But like, man, because full disclosure, I did kind of want an excuse to draw a sexy character, because I feel like obviously it doesn't happen enough in the Another Step Forward. It's a rare occurrence. Like I always have fun whenever I do it, because I like drawing titties. What do you want from me? What do you think I am, fucking gay? Sketch. Right now, okay. I'm just adding a new layer for like a refined sketch of the writer. But yeah, for her design aesthetic, I kind of did things I basically have a slight fetish for. Like it's basically, yeah, it's just basically fetish material. Large fists, large tits, broad hips, a little bit muscle in there, and kind of the short hair. Cause I do have a slight thing for girls with shorter hair. Like not like freaking buzz cut kind of thing. I feel like okay, too far. Really, kind of short, you know. Kind of that tomboy thing. I don't know what the fuck I'm on about right now. let's see. Yeah, but that's her basically design notes. And then there's the what I call the anxious one. A man of culture, I see. Random question: what time zone you in, pal? I'm kind of like, I forget what it's called, but right now where I am, it's 12:30 at midnight. Oh, Michael H. retracted his message, but hey, more people watching. That's always good. Did Rachel, I think, was enjoy Miss Pleasures? Oh yeah, she did. She was like, "Dang, she thick." She's the one who said she could birth like probably 4 children. Yeah, I'll get more on like my friends' cameos in a bit. After I go through like, I think after I go through the last creature that showed up in '84, which was, no, actually after I go through him and like Sir William, as I like to call him. The idea of like the last creature is sort of like, short hair is my fave. A man of culture, I see. Typo, couldn't leave it. Would have drove me crazy. Sorry about that. That's fine. Don't worry about it. People make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. Anyway, so like for the one that said he must panic, that represents my anxiety. I don't think my anxiety is nowhere near as like severe as depression. It's sort of like an add-on of like the depression. So the idea was like I drew him as like a simplified mini version of the depression, where he's like skinny, lanky, he's got the big eyes, and he's like red, and because he doesn't sleep. Obviously, he's exaggerated, like, and like I think for his kind of aesthetic is like, yeah, he's just a minion of the depression beast. Another thing I want to point out is like the depression beast is larger than all the other things put together. He is huge. Like in all the comic strips, there was a scrapped comic that I might show off one of these days, is like where it shows his origins. And like it shows him, he just starts out small and tiny, and then he's like starts climbing on my shoulder, then he's bigger than like me entirely, then he's like, he fills up the whole strip or the whole panel. Like that was scrapped because I didn't like how it was turning out visually, and I felt like it wasn't time for that yet. I might do a redo of it, I'm not certain. But no, where was I? Oh yeah, so that was anxious. It's probably I think my least favorite of all the designs, because it's just kind of simple. It's just sort of like a repeat of it. Funny, I'm getting anxious about that. But let's see. And then like the knight, some people pointed out that he is like akin to Slave Knight Gale from Dark Souls 3. What was it called? Ring City DLC. And I won't lie, he is like, especially the sword he wields is like a direct reference to that. But like the idea I had for that is like basically the comic strip that has like where like I still sort of have the will to live, but it's like it's beat up, it's worn out, it looks like it's about to give way any moment, but it's still there somehow. And that was kind of the idea of I always like the aesthetic of something being torn and worn away and beat up, and so that was the idea I had whenever I was making him. I was like, let's make something torn, worn, and beat up, because I do like that aesthetic. And I do basically have like, I want to keep things consistent. Like one of his like shoulder guards is like has a hole in it, the other one just has like a split in it, and then he's like on his right arm it's like torn so you can see his bicep on the chainmail, and like one of the knees is, the knee plates, whatever it's called, is freaking broken. But that's the general aesthetic. So yeah, I think that's all the recurring characters that show up. So let's see. Oh yeah, now I can talk about the aesthetic I gave to my friends, basically. Let's look at one that was mentioned recently, which is my friend Rachel, and like the friends that regular came are usually some of my closest friends. Like these are some of the pals that I confide in. They are like my support group, basically. And like Rachel is one of my close friends. I won't give any more revealing because I know she likes her privacy. So, but like her design, she really likes her design. Like she loves her design. Like she's like, "Why did you draw me so hot?" It's like, "Yeah, I like the night." Oh, thank you. And like I did a couple of comments in like Jesus, people really like it whenever I draw a female character. And like one thing fun thing, in fact, about her character is like her character is due for a redesign, but I won't give any spoilers for that because again, for privacy reasons. But it'll be a subtle bit of symbolism. Funny thing, when she got her hair cut and like I said, oh, I guess I'll have to redesign your character. She's like, no, I hate my hair short. Keep my hair the way it is. I was like, okay, fine then. Another one is my friend called Dalton, who we often joke that he looks like Captain America before the serum. But he's like probably he's also one of my best friends, and like, yeah, for his thing, I had a lot of fun because he's seen as a skinny dude. Like we make jokes that he's like a super skinny dude, and for like but one thing I know is that he's got a noticeable jawline, like a typical white guy jawline, and a tiny little butt chin. Like I exaggerate that thing a lot. And funny thing, he requested, it's like, also question, wasn't he the same person that fights when you get sliced in the head? No, he is not. That is someone completely different. That was, like, the idea of having a knight embody my character was something I only came up with recently. That was just that was a bit of a Dark Souls reference, just there, and that was just kind of more of, like, a nebulous embodiment of just struggles in life. So, yeah, that may have been, like, the original inspiration of the idea. I don't know. Sometimes you see things and you get locked away in your head and you end up seeing them again later. So who knows? But yeah, this girl's kind of looking like a predator. Where was I? Oh yeah, so my friend Dalton's the idea of him is just kind of exaggerating his skinniness and like his like manly chin and jawline. So that was the aesthetic I was giving him. Another recent like recurring character is my buddy Tennessee, who shows up in like the one where he has like the better modeling one. He's also he's the one with the goatee in like my Warframe one where I show like my basically 3 main friends basically and like the squad we have in Warframe. And like he has probably shown up the least out of all my friends because like he's still a really good friend and will still help me out in a pinch. But he's kind of a simple man. He was slated for a strip, but like that ended up getting scrapped because something important. I don't know. I think something important happened in my life, and now it's like it's hardly relevant now. Oh, zooming in on that. I'll say this: it is very fun to draw a girl. Oh, bye. I have school tomorrow. Got to go home, but I hope your drawing turns out. You love moi. Bye. Okay, I'm guy 3 wants something. He's just saying. That's fine. This has been a rather successful stream. I was kind of panicked about switching over to YouTube, but it turns out to be fine. I feel like more people have a YouTube account than have a Twitch account. Let's see, where was I? It's for my friend Tennessee. It's kind of a simple thing, because simple strands of like he has kind of a Loki-esque hair. So I kind of had that. He's got a bit of a beard and the hat. I mean, I won't lie, I didn't put much thought into his design because, I don't know, that's the kind of guy he is. He's the mellow one. He's definitely the mellow one among our group of friends. I do have sketches of other people I know that have not cameoed. What am I saying? Yeah, so you know, our friends who like they were slated for a cameo, but then it got canceled, or like they've had like one-off appearances. Like I think at least 10 of my actual real-life friends have shown up in the strip, but they like I think one is where I showed like one of the things I do, like how I act when I'm around friends, and it's just like I'm like laughing and having fun. So like yeah, there's that. So what am I even saying? I'm getting anxious. Somehow still awake. But yeah, so yeah, right now none of my friends are slated for a cameo anytime soon. So those characters, we don't know how long the Inner War saga is gonna be. Well, I do know. I might rename it something along the lines because I don't want to just call it Inner War for like the next who knows how long. Granted, it is a slight. As I know, yes, it is a slight reference to Infinity War because I watched that movie and it's one of my favorites now. I want to rewatch it again. I want to rewatch it. I still need to see Deadpool 2. Makes this one even worse since I have 3 groups of friends. Yeah. I say with my kind of friends, it's more of like the idea of I sort of kind of have a tier list, essentially. Like doing it for each short feel I do. Yeah, like kind of like I kind of like a tier list. There's like my top tier friends that who have like more frequently featured in the comic. And there's mid tier friends that hang out regularly and fine. And there's low tier friends which are kind of more like friends of friends. Or like I get along fine with them. There's no beef between us. I feel like most of my friends are kind of mid tier. I don't know. Should I feel bad for kind of ranking my friends this way? I don't know. This character's turning out really nice, I won't lie. Slowly but surely we're getting somewhere. I better save, just in case. This thing can crash. Now we know that this thing can crash. I think I've already gone over basically everything for this step forward now. You guys now know what the lore. Are there any announcements I'm gonna make about it? Probably not anytime soon. Just you know, there is something special planned for number 100, but that's still like, if we're going like worst case scenario and I post every other week, let's see, that's 2 a month. Yeah, that's probably, oh shit, that's gonna take a while. So best case scenario, it's gonna be in 15 weeks, which is about 3 months. Wait, what, is that 3 months? That's about a little more actually. 12 weeks is 3 months, so yeah, a little over 3 months. Yeah, I think I have the tier list with groups of friends. Well, yeah. So yeah, so maybe in like a half year is whenever like I'll do the special thing, whatever the fuck I'm doing. It's getting close to 100. I didn't think I'd get past 70, and here I am at 85. Fucking A, where life takes you, eh? Crazy how nature do that. Got a big fuck off. Like, I think the original like art I had for this, no, just like I drew this in like high school. Like, I had recently been playing Monster Hunter, huge animated fight scene. Oh dear, I won't say that, but I will say you get a budget. If only. For the record, my new goal for my Patreon is to get $400, because that'll be maybe enough so I can move out on my own for a bit. Honestly, I don't think my production of ASF would increase, but like, I'd definitely able to. I'd probably keep the same job I have, but I'd just be able to change my living situation. One thing I want to get whenever I move out of like my family's home is get a cat. I want to get a cat. I won't lie. 2 of my friends are like saying, "Oh, you should get a cat. Oh, get a cat. It'll cheer you up." It's like, I know, it's so fluffy looking. I want one. Well, whatever. I think this is good. What's the amount you need in Webtoon to get paid or something? I don't like. Let me just check real quick because the stream's gonna end soon. I'm sorry to disappoint. Let's look at how much I need in order to get freaking. Let's see, dashboard. Are you looking like what statistics? Let's see, if I want to get okay. So here's the thing: for the total, if I want to get paid by Webtoon, basically, I'm going to need 10,000 plus 10,000K. Yeah, 10K subscribers, and I currently have like 260, so I don't even have 1,000. So, But imagine I get the more popular I get, it'll kind of snowball. If another way was get user page views per update. I need 20K per update, and like I'm nowhere near that either. I only recently like passed 20K in just overall views, and if I ever get those, the Webtoon would pledge $100. So I don't know. I don't know. It'll take a while. Anyway, I think this is a good stopping point for my stream. It's been lots of fun. More fun than I thought it would be. I'll probably do these on a regular basis. Who knows? Maybe next Sunday. I don't know. Just kind of figure this thing out as I go. Probably gonna make an announcement on the stream or whatever. Okay. Bye, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful night, because it's late at night and I'm kind of tired. Good night, everybody.